This is like the most I think I've ever spent on a record. I paid for this. Oops. Hey everybody. Today I'm going to be doing one of my favorite videos that I've done. I feel like I've done multiple, but I think I've only done the one. I don't know, I wanted to do it again because it's fun. Today we're going to be going through the top 10 most expected. Right. Today we're going to be going through the top 10 most expensive records in my collection. And we all cheered, yes. Last time I did this was 9 months ago, but I feel like that was enough time for the list to evolve. Since I have added so many more records to my collection since then, the list has definitely shifted. There are some that are the same as last time, but our number one spot has been dethroned by someone else. So if you haven't watched that video, I'll have it linked in the description. But basically what we're gonna be doing is I went through Discogs. I'll have my profile linked down below. I went through my collection on Discogs and I searched for the most expensive records, like the ones that have sold for the most. On Discogs, it shows the average price a record or CD has sold for, and then it also shows the low and the high price. Okay, we're gonna be looking at that high price today because it's so much more fun, because sometimes it's very dramatic and I have definitely contributed to those high price points. And we'll get into that too. I thought I would also not only tell you how much these records have sold for on average, but also how much I paid to have them in my collection. I don't know, I feel like this will be like a form of therapy for me. A little dose of reality to show me that maybe I don't need to be spending so much money on records. It's a problem. Are problems supposed to make you this happy though? Let me ask you that. Alright, let's just get into it, okay? We're gonna start with number 10, of course, and work our way up towards number 1. So first up in our number 10 spot is Ariana Grande's K-Bye For Now Sweetener World Tour Live. This is just a standard black pressing. This was, as you can see by the sticker up here, this was an RSD 2021 release, and I did not get my hands on it in 2021, so I waited around for the resellers, which is not always a great idea, and in this case, terrible idea. This one, I got it off Discogs. I paid $88 for it, and that's like including shipping and fees and all that. I would say it's worth it. I have made a few goals for my record collection this year and how I want to grow it, because if I don't have a goal in mind of what I want to do with my collection, then I'm just gonna go crazy and buy like everything. That shouldn't happen. So I've decided that I want to collect all Ariana Grande. I want to have every single record that she's ever put out in my collection because I love her so much. So this was a part of that. I was like, I need it. I love Sweetener Live. Like, it's a perfect encapsulation. Oh my god. It's a perfect I need to change that word because that word is not going to come out of my mouth correctly. This is the perfect representation of what the Sweetener World Tour was. I love that she included like moments from the crowd. Like, you can hear the crowd screaming, saying funny things. I love it. And of course her vocals are unbeatable, dude. I paid $88 for this on Discogs and it goes for $163.03. And you know what? That 3 cents does count because the one after this in our number 9 spot, they're only differentiated by 1 cent. This one goes for $163. So actually me paying $88 for this is not bad at all, considering that I could have paid like $160 and I didn't. I paid like half that. A win is a win, yeah. I'm looking at this list now and I'm realizing it's basically only 4 artists that I have decided to like variant collect for. So that's interesting. Next up in our number 9 spot, we have Last Christmas by Wham. This is another RSD exclusive. This was, I believe, RSD 2014. There's a sticker right there. This is on red and green translucent split. I mean, so cool, so Christmassy, so fun. This was one of my first like big record purchases and I knew I needed it. As soon as I saw it on Discogs, I was like, that's a thing? Okay, I need it, add to cart. For this one I paid, I don't even know. Oh, it's not the worst, but like on Discogs, I paid $120 for this. Worth it, am I right? That's actually insane for a record that I can really only play like 1 time a year. In like December. It's fine. It's a collector's piece and that's how I justify my purchases. It makes me happy and it's a collector's piece. So I paid $120 for this and it goes for $163.04. So like I said, the last one and this one are only separated by 1 cent. So this one's our 9th spot. I love this one. This one has a very special place in my heart. As do all of them, because they're literally my children. All right, next up is another Ariana Grande one. Like, I can't help it. I just can't. I think this is the newest one I've added to my collection in this lineup, which is exciting. So in our 8th spot, we have Sweetener by Ariana Grande on the peach pressing. For so long, I've been wanting to add this specific variant to my collection, but it was so expensive for resale that I was like, I'll hold off. I'll put a pause to that until A few weeks ago, she randomly restocked it on her website. This pressing was a part of that 2019 vinyl drop on her merch store, and she's been like slowly restocking some of them over the past few months. But this, she restocked a few weeks ago on her website. Sitting in class, purchased it immediately. I did not hesitate at all because you can't hesitate when something this good comes up. For retail, I just had to. So, since I got this for retail, I only paid in total $47 for this thing. I mean, so if you had told me like 6 months ago that I was going to be buying this for retail in the next coming months, I would have not believed you. Because for so long, this has been so expensive online resale. The highest price on Discogs for this is actually not as crazy as I thought it was, but it's still absurd, okay? Don't get me wrong, it's still crazy. $179.35. This was the steal of all steals, okay? Like, this is my favorite Ariana Grande album, so I just knew I had to get this pressing in my hands at some point. And I actually think I got a pretty good disc. I think I've been really lucky with my Ariana Grande pressings. For a long time, the only versions of this I was seeing that people had in their collections, it looked like throw up. It did not look cute. This one, I can get the peach vibes. It's got a little bit of orange in it. Like, it's pretty, and I get the vibes. I wish, honestly, she had pressed more variants for this album because it's my favorite album, and I love it so much. This next record, I'm so happy that, like, some of my favorite pressings in my entire collection are in this lineup. Like, that's so exciting to me. Not the price I spent on them. Some of them, yes, like that last, like the Sweetener one and this next one, a steal. Oh my god, but this next one, I genuinely almost cried opening it because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. In our 7th spot, we have Faith in the Future by Louis Tomlinson. This is red and black splatter pressing. That is so sick. I love this pressing so much. I actually have so many red pressings in my collection, and this one is like one of the cooler ones. I think I love the black and red together, and it matches the vibe of this album so well. Apparently this was an indie record store exclusive. I was browsing on Discogs, I wanted to buy something, I didn't know what, and I found this one and I was like, ooh, that's so sick. Then I read that it comes with exclusive signed art card. So I'm like looking through all the listings for it on Discogs, and I see this guy selling it for like retail. I got it for $48 in total. He says it's sealed and it's only $50. Like, there's a version of this that doesn't come with the signature inside. So I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe he like doesn't have the right one, I don't know. So I was like, it's fine if it doesn't, it's great if it does come with the signature. Like, I'm not paying a crazy amount. We're gonna take our chances, okay? So I get it, I'm like unboxing it, and then I see the signature. Guys, it's on my wall right here. It is my prized possession. It's my only signature from any of the boys in One Direction, and I'm so glad it's like this album. Like, this album means so much to me. I did get it with a signature for retail. Biggest steal of my life, I swear. Like, even more than the Sweetener one. Like, this is insane to me. So that being said, this one with the signature goes for $199.98. I don't think I would ever pay that much for a signature. I think I've been really lucky with the signatures that I do have. I've only bought them like for retail price. I refuse to pay that much for something signed. Like, yes, it's cool. I can't justify that. I can justify paying that much for like a record, maybe not for just a signature. Moving on to our 6th spot. I think this one out of all of them shocked me the most. This is Wham! The Singles, Echoes from the Edge of Heaven. This is the picture disc. This one comes with a picture disc and a zoetrope disc. I mean, killer. This is my favorite Wham! Album, so obviously when they dropped all this stuff, I was like, I need to have it. And I'm still debating spending like $300 on that like box with all the collector stuff in it. Like, I'm sorry, I need that. I got this from their website, I'm pretty sure, like Wham's merch store. It comes with like B-sides and remixes, which I love. I don't know, this is just a really, again, fun collector's piece to have. Since I got this for retail, I paid $65 for this. A majority of that is like the $20 shipping from the UK to the US. I love this one. I don't listen to it as much as I should because usually I don't love to play my picture discs because I just want to take as good of care of them as like I possibly can. I get scared. It's like, you know, like sneakerheads like don't want to wear their shoes because they don't want to crease them. That's how I feel about my picture disc records. Instead, I just play like the standard black version I have of this. This one goes for $200 on Discogs. We're in our final 5. Yes, top 5. In our 5th spot, we have Made in the AM by One Direction. And of course, this is the translucent blue Urban Outfitters exclusive pressing. I'm so fortunate to have every single Urban Outfitters pressing. Although I have been seeing lately in person, I've been seeing Take Me Home and Up All Night. Just saying, I've been seeing them in stores. So like if you're on the hunt for them, go check it out. But yeah, this is Translucent Blue Urban Outfitters exclusive. I don't know how much I paid for this, but I definitely paid retail because I bought it from Urban Outfitters. So I probably paid like $40. And on Discogs, it goes for $216.30. I guess this one was super limited because all the other pressings are like in the hundreds range, maybe less. Like this one is like, I need to lock my doors at night. Apparently. I did not know how rare I guess this one was. I just would love to know like the quantity of certain records that were released. Like I think that's so interesting to see. I love my One Direction records so much. I really need to get back into it. I have declared that this summer is an up all night type of summer, so that's the album I'm gonna be playing this summer. Okay, I just need it to feel like 2010 again. Let's move on to our fourth spot, which of course is Walls by Louis Tomlinson, the picture disc. Ooh, he's like a little skewed in there. For a long time, this was at the top of my like vinyl wish list because it's Louis, it's a picture disc. That's two of my favorite things already, so like obviously I had to have it. This was a 2021 HMV exclusive to celebrate 100 years of HMV, I believe. Yeah, it literally says that on the what's these called? Like a strip something. Damn, this was limited to 1,500 copies. I did not know that. Makes sense why this is so hard to come by for like a reasonable price. Not saying that I paid a reasonable price for it, but that just shows you how hard it is to come by. This is like the most I think I've ever spent on a record. Oops. I paid $222 for this single disc. I paid $222 for this. Hey, and you know what? Angel numbers, it was a sign. 222, I had to buy it. That's my number. It was a sign, I had to buy it. I paid $222 for this. I did, and I think coming to terms with that is really good for this problem I have. Like, I do not need to be spending that much on a record. I don't think I would do that again. I'm just lying through my teeth because you know for a fact I would spend more than that on the pink pressing of HS1. I would spend like $400 on that thing.
Oh, that's no.
Anyways, so yeah, I paid that much for this. And it goes for $239.13. So, I got a little too close to that highest price. More than I would have liked to have spent on this, but you know what? It was a gift to me. You gotta treat yourself, guys. Self-care. We have made it to our top 3. These are all kind of a similar price. In our third spot, My Everything by Ariana Grande, the clear and purple split. I believe this is another web store exclusive, like from her merch store. It restocked on recordstore.co.uk for like around retail, like a little more. So I only paid $62 for this. And you know what? That might sound like a lot, but compared to the price I'm about to tell you for how much it goes for, not that much. Y'all are sleeping on recordstore.co.uk though, because they've got the hookup. They ship to the US for like a reasonable price. They've got some really good restocks. Like this, I got a Dangerous Woman, Purple and Black Swirl from there for a good price. Like, yeah, I trust them with my life. So I paid $62 for this one and it goes for $253.16. But again, to add to my Ariana Grande collection, this is another one of my favorite albums from her, so I saw it and I had to cop. All right, guys. In the number 2 spot, we have Fine Line by Harry Styles, the Coke bottle clear pressing. One of my favorite colored pressings ever. I love this pressing. Love this album. I mean, enough said. It's such a good album. I believe I got this one for retail because I got it off his merch store. Again, don't know how much I paid, but probably around like 40 bucks. This one in the last video was our number 1 spot, and it has been bumped down to number 2. But it goes for around the same price of $255. I did not realize how like rare this one was or like exclusive this was, but I am so glad I got it, and that's why I tried so hard for Harry's House to immediately buy the records on his site as soon as it went live because I was scared of this happening to me. Like, I could not imagine paying $255 for this. But I'm sorry if you have to. Like, do what you have to do. Like, Harry Styles is another artist that I have decided to variant collect for, although those HS1 exclusive pressings are making that very difficult for me. All right, we have made it to our number 1, the most expensive record in my collection, which is arguably my favorite record in my collection because it took me ever to get this in my hands. Genuinely still cannot believe that I'm holding it right now. And our number 1 spot, we have Metaphysical by the Technicolors on Cherry Red. Don't have another red pressing like this in my collection. This is the only shade like this, and I love that. This came out in 2017. I believe it was a tour exclusive. Very, very limited, so that's made it very impossible for me to get my hands on it. I have been scouring Reddit, and that's how you know I am at my worst. When I am scouring scouring Reddit for information. This one I was willing to drop a bag for. Like, this one I have been wanting for so long. I love this album dearly. For this album, I paid $194. And you know what? That's not as much as the Louis Tomlinson one, but it's close enough to still be an issue. This one on Discogs goes for $269.99. And you know what? I saw that and I was like, honestly, I'd be willing to pay that much for it because I love it that much. So those are the most expensive records in my collection. Go check out the last video if you want to like compare and see how the list has changed. I know I'm definitely gonna go back and watch that video and see how the prices differ. But if you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe down below for more videos from me. I make a lot of record content. I do reactions, all the good stuff. I'm gonna go, so I'll see y'all later.